October Faction is a supernatural crime thriller on Netflix, created by Damien Kindler, based on a series of comics of the same name. Now, this is a bit of a weird show because it sort of borrows or steals even so many elements from other shows. Let me see, not shows even, shows, series, other things that are out there. So October Faction is basically the love child of Men in Black, Supernatural, the show that's basically this 18th year or whatever the hell it is. At least those brothers are a good laugh to watch, and some elements in the series are fun. Then you've got Buffy shoehorned in there as well, and maybe even a little bit of X-Files, and you got October Faction, this weird pastiche Frankenstein monster type thing. So what's it about?
I hate October.
Well, you start with Dolores Allen, who is played by Tamara Taylor. I was trying to figure out who the hell she was, and I sort of twigged, oh yes, she was in CSI. I can't remember which CSI. Oh, now I'm going to have to go and check anyway. And her husband, who's played by J.C. McKenzie, and that's Fred Allen. So these two are basically super agents who hunt down and kill anything that's not human. At least the animals on Earth are okay. But if you're a monster, you're kind of fucked. If you're a vampire, a werewolf, anything, they come out and kill you. And they kill you really easily, it would seem. Unless, of course, it's not very easy, but that's just because of the consistency of the show. It's all over the place. Anyway, they have a daughter and a son, played amicably, I would say, by Aurora Burkhart and Gabriel Darku. These are Viv and Jeff, and they are twins at the same age. I think they're 17 years old when it starts out. So they move to a new town, actually a town where their father, who left them a big haunted mansion, used to live. And they used to live. They came from there, they left, and they've come back now. So a lot of people sort of looking at them, oh my God, it's them again. And so you have the whole sort of creepy town vibe going for them there. In the first episode, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought, okay, cool, they can keep this up. This is going to be a good show. It sort of starts out with them coming back because the father's died. They go to his funeral, and the parents basically hysterically get absolutely Dolores and Fred get completely stoned out of their heads driving the old car, the Powermobile, while they go out and try and get snacks. However, when they go out to get snacks, they run into a couple of vampires that they have to kill, and a whole bunch of shenanigans then fall out from there. We have a sheriff who is suspicious of them, who is just annoying, not the actress, but the character, and that is one of the biggest problems with the show. It gets so fucking annoying. They do things so over the top, and there's so many themes that they're trying to weave into I think it's a 10-part series, that they drop the ball on a lot of other things. Now, listen to this. When I say themes, they truly do cover almost all of them. And from the get-go, I think within the first 3 minutes, we have racism raised because they're going back to a small town. In this particular case, actually, it wasn't even a racist reason why the guy didn't want to service the car. It was more. But anyway, racism is a big thing in this, and so is prejudice. And with the whole idea of the monsters and humans not being liked, one people being lower than the other, etc., etc. Then to sort of add more to this, because those two things are so small, we may as well throw in a whole bunch of sexuality things, which is always great to do. I'd have no problem with that if it's dealt with in a nice way. It's not dealt with in a particularly well thought out manner in this. For example, you have one character who is sort of gay, hasn't come out yet, and you have, I'm not going to give any characters away, but because that's spoilers, but basically he's encouraged to come out just so that the lover or the person who's interested in him can date them. Very selfish reasonings to this, and they misstep in a lot of ways when it comes to dealing with a lot of this stuff. So anyway, as I said, it's kind of like a Men in Black. You have an organization, I can't remember their name, I don't care, who are going out trying to kill everybody, and we find out that monsters, shock horror, are not actually all evil. It's basically them being persecuted and hunted, and genocide is thrown around a couple of times. And then suddenly we have a big bad, and she is a warlock, and suddenly she is linked to people that you like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Actually, you did completely. And this is where it again breaks down. The storytelling in this is horrendous. It's fucking terrible. When she drops the knowledge that two people happen to be warlocks and she's their mother, these people go, oh my God, and then turn on their parents, on the parents that they thought they were. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Yes, I'm talking about Viv and Jeff. They find out that their parents aren't really their parents, and that a warlock is. And within 3 minutes, they turn on their parents that they've grown up with, immediately, and they leave, and they think the parents are going to die, but they don't die. And again, it's just balls dropping left, right, and center. The leaps of logic in this are incredible. They are tremendously, wow, so irritating, because it could have been quite a fun show. When I get frustrated like this, there's one scene that takes place where a guy comes out. He basically looks like a soldier, and suddenly he's trying to convince people, no, I'm actually, monsters are real. He turns into a werewolf in front of 2 police officers who are heavily armed, and instead of the officers going holy shit and shooting it, because that's what I would do if I saw a fucking werewolf in my face, one of them cracks a joke about the Hulk and always being angry. To which the werewolf then goes, I am always angry. And you're supposed to laugh at this, but it's not funny, because the show is taking itself extremely serious, except for that very beginning part, as being, like I said, noble in some sort of way, but it just covers over story. I can see why it is sitting on 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's a little bit harsh, actually, but I can see why people are frustrated. It also just ends, something big and major happens and sort of is taking place, and then the show just cuts. And you're left wondering, what the fuck is actually happening here? What happened to this character and that character and this character? You're not going to find out. No. Maybe season 2 will come. I mean, Netflix has renewed Another Life for season 2. They're probably going to renew this. And like I said, I'm just angry with this show because it took 10 hours of my life. And I thought it was going to go some nice places, and then they just completely fucked it. As I say, the actors are generally speaking very good. The special effects are not terrible, though the vampires have these weird teeth that come out forward, kind of like a predator. So I'm not quite sure what happened to those vampires. So yeah, some odd design choices anyway. So everything worked quite nicely. The soundtrack is also very, very good. The camera work is quite nice too. But the thing that lets us down, and this is proof in the pudding, everybody, that writers are important. You need to get good, consistent writers in the room and follow a thread through. Think about the thread so that the beginning makes sense to the end, and this is not, unfortunately, what happened in this. I would give this show a 5 out of 10. As I say, I think 20% is a little bit harsh over here. 50%, I think at least maybe they could correct things if there was going to be a second season. So yeah, I would rather miss this one unless you really do enjoy the whole Buffy thing. Buffy I absolutely love. I think it's a great series. As I also think that the one that came after it's got Angel was bloody brilliant too. So I like that kind of thing. This, however, as I say, takes itself very serious. One thing I did like, however, is the father. Fred. The character choice was very odd, or the actor choice, sorry, was odd for me at the beginning. He's a very tall, quite gangly, thin, very English-looking guy with glasses, and I kind of grew to liking that. He wasn't some guy that ran around with a big chest and muscles and stuff. So yeah, that was a nice sort of twist over there, but basically everything else around that didn't work. So yeah, this one, guys, rather avoid it and go and watch something else, like Buffy, for example.